So I'm really glad that you came in today. Kind of talk a little bit about what you got going on, and try and figure out how I can be of assistance to you. Do want to kind of start things off by letting you know that everything that you say to me and that we discuss here today, is kept confidential. There are a few exceptions to that rule. So if you do indicate that you have intention to hurt either yourself or another, I am required by law to get into contact with other people to make sure that you and that other party are safe. Additionally, if you do suspect child abuse, elderly abuse, or abuse of a disabled person, I'm also required by law to get into contact with other people, really just to make sure that everybody in that situation is safe. So, but everything else we do discuss today is kept between, just you and I.
Okay.
So, Jessica, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you got going on?
Okay. Well, I'm kind of stressed out about a few things going on in my life right now. Most importantly being my impending move to Philadelphia to live with my boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, moves like that are really stressful, just to start out with. So when are you anticipating this move?
It's going to be coming up now, March 1st we're trying to move in.
Okay,
so
wow. So that's really right around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I imagine, just the general stuff of, trying to plan that all out is, has you pretty stressed out. I mean, what else, that's going on that has you concerned?
Yeah, well, we've been together, me and my boyfriend have been together since maybe sophomore, junior year of college, so 7 years or something.
Oh, wow, okay.
But the last half of our relationship has been long distance.
Okay.
With him in, I'm trying to think how long. I mean, yeah, because I have been in New York now for a while, and he has never lived in New York. He's lived in Philadelphia. So, I was in college in Philadelphia, and then we were together.
Yeah.
But then when he moved, we weren't, and, when I moved after college, we weren't together, and there's things about our relationship that make me kind of trepidatious about us actually moving in together.
Okay. So,
even though I know it's a good idea.
Okay. So it sounds like, it's something that you're definitely emotionally invested in. I mean, you've been together so long. Tell me a little bit more about what in the relationship has you concerned.
Yeah. Well, I think we're just different in a lot of ways.
Okay.
And I don't know if maybe we, have different values in terms of certain things.
Okay.
He, for instance, is kind of not as motivated as me. He went to law school. He just graduated from law school.
Okay.
But he couldn't get on top of doing applications. He failed the bar the first time.
Okay.
So, and he has some anxiety and stuff. So sometimes I feel like I'm almost like the therapist with him. Trying to push him along. And I don't know if that's so healthy. He should be able to do that on his own, maybe.
Yeah.
Have
you brought these concerns to his attention?
Yeah, he did go see a therapist or a doctor or something. He got some medication.
Okay.
But it's the type of thing where he doesn't really want to take it all the time, kind of anti-anxiety medication.
Okay.
So
it sounds like kind of inconsistent with, actually engaging in treatment and taking the medication.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about, your concerns about his, level of motivation and things? Are those things that you've discussed?
We discussed them. Yeah, I'll try to, when we were trying to find an apartment, I kept telling him, I wanted to live in New York, so I wanted him to look for jobs in New York first and foremost, and then get an apartment in New York.
Okay.
And, it sounded like it was right next to us and the door was open. And he, was totally lax about actually looking for these interviews, and then where he ended up getting hired was at the firm that he was kind of being a paralegal at in Philadelphia, just by default, because he didn't apply any he did apply some other places, but like not enough, you know. And so he knew that I was upset. Like I kept telling him, like, make sure you apply. But he just couldn't really do it.
Okay.
I don't know.
What are, whenever he doesn't really act upon, those things that you're kind of wanting, like, searching for a job, looking for places in New York, how does he respond whenever, you kind of bring up your frustrations with that?
Yeah. He will just, like, say that he's going to do it.
Okay.
And then he will just be lax about it.
Okay. Is this something that's kind of been an issue throughout the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It sounds like, a little bit hesitant to bring this topic up to him.
Yeah. I guess I don't want to stress him out
Okay.
so much.
Okay. What makes you think that it would, stress him out?
Just because he gets nervous about things. Like, even his first day of work, like, it's the same place that he had been working, but just his first day in the new position.
Mm-hmm.
He was so nervous and so anxious.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, should I take my medication? Should I take my medication? I'm like, yes, that's what it's there for, especially on the first day.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So I can definitely see that there's a little bit of an issue with communication or something going on.
Yeah.
How does that end up, making you feel?
It makes me frustrated and stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Are there things that, you've done or tried in the past that have, seemed to help as motivation for a period of times, or anything that you've, tried in the past?
No.
Okay.
I mean, just like asking him to do things,
Mm-hmm.
That's really it.
Okay. I mean, is that something that, you're wanting to, look into, different ways of approaching him about, about these conversations about your concerns and frustrations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
All right. Do you think it'd be something he would, ultimately be receptive to?
I don't know. I think we're kind of so set in our ways, so probably not.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like there's definitely a lot of stuff going on within the relationship,
Yeah.
on top of all the, concerns about moving.
Yeah, I think so. So that makes me nervous about moving in with him, because I'm like, well, do I want to stay with him?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm moving in with him at the same time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it definitely could be, beneficial to bring these frustrations to the forefront. Kind of expressing your concerns, expressing your frustrations about, what seems like a little bit of difference in, like, levels of motivation.
Yeah.
And, being able to try and figure that out and kind of see if y'all can come to some type of compromise. As well as, for you, I mean, understanding his side of things could also be really helpful in, just your own information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like he needs to be in therapy too, to like figure out what it is with him that he like is not giving his all to things,
Okay.
But
And you said that he, is on the medication and is, does take it, but just not consistently. Is that correct?
yeah, but it's the type of medication that you're not really. I mean, some people take it consistently, but it's like kind of type of thing where you take it when you need it, like the benzodiazepines.
Okay, gotcha. All
But
right.
maybe he needs to be on another type of medication, and I think that he needs to be seeing a therapist too.
Okay.
But it's hard to. How do you convince someone to do that?
Ultimately, I don't think you really can. I mean, the decision to go to therapy and, try and figure out new solutions to what may be old problems, ultimately the ball does fall in his court.
Yeah.
But it sounds as though, you have, a very strong relationship, one that's been there for so long that, potentially approaching him with this conversation, could be really beneficial for both of y'all.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, is that discussion about therapy something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to tell him, like, you're going to have to do this, otherwise we can't go forward. It's going to be hard for us to go forward.
Okay. So, in your mind, having this conversation with them, how do you think you would approach it?
Maybe like, talk to you about how things have been going lately.
Okay.
Along those lines.
Okay. So a little bit more of a softer approach and trying to get into things. Yeah, I mean...
Don't want to scare him off too much.
Yeah, I mean, even for yourself, having those conversations are really scary to bring up.
Yeah.
And to actually, discuss issues rather than, just kind of going along with how things are. It's very scary. So there's, that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Do you think he would be open to the notion of therapy?
Yeah, it's hard to, I think it'll be hard for him to keep going, you know? So, maybe, he just needs help to keep going, I guess.
Okay. So how are you doing with everything?
I don't know, like I said, I'm kind of stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's tough because I have a children's baby clothing line that I design and manufacture.
Very neat.
And so this past winter, I had a booth in Bryant Park.
Okay. Congratulations.
All my clothes.
Yeah.
So it was a few months there, and I was living in Brooklyn with family.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to come back home. When it ended.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not there the whole year. It's like a pop-up shop type place.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so I had to come back to New York, and or I had to come back to where my mom was living, and so I moved from Brooklyn to the suburbs. Was unpacking all my stuff.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of in the process of repacking everything.
Yeah.
And I got kind of used to living back at home in the suburbs of New York, and
so was family kind of one of the big reasons why you ended up moving back to New York?
yeah,
Okay.
that really was a big reason, and friends. Really, I just feel comfortable in New York. I have people around me that love me,
Yeah.
and I have friends in Philadelphia from college, but they're not the same friends, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can hear that.
And just the people are different, and I don't know. It's just depends. It's just kind of different.
Okay. How do your family feel about you moving back to Philadelphia?
They're okay with it. They just want me to be happy, but I think they're gonna miss me, but they know that I've been with my boyfriend for so long, and that we want to live together, and I don't know, it's kind of hard on my mom, because my mom I was living with my mom. My sister got her own apartment, and my parents got divorced.
Okay.
A while ago, and so my mom's hasn't been in a serious relationship since, and it's been maybe I don't know, 8 years or something.
Okay.
And so I think she likes having me around.
Yeah.
My cousin is living in the basement, kind of keeping her company,
Okay.
but he's just really living there for financial reasons right now. But I do worry about her because my parents divorced me and my dad cheated on my mom. So I don't know if that has something to do with her not getting into another relationship.
Yeah. I mean, definitely when that type of trust is, broken, I, would imagine that it would take her, a while to actually be able to come back to, a trust with, a partner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like, family and, the life in New York that you have is something that is indeed really important to you. And it sounds like you have a pretty good relationship with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just annoying sometimes, but...
Well, that's moms.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So, I do worry about her.
Okay. Just kind of with her, bouncing back after the divorce and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, what are you currently doing in New York?
Well, I had the baby
mm-hmm.
clothing line. Yeah. That's my main source of income.
Okay.
I'm an entrepreneur. Kind of started from the bottom up.
Hey, good for you.
So that's going to be, I'm going to have to go back to New York a lot just because of like the amenities that are in New York and things that, like in terms of my manufacturers in New York, a lot of things. But so it's like, not like I'm leaving forever, and it is only 2 hours away. But like the area in Philadelphia that I wanted to live in, the like town center, historic area, is really expensive.
Okay.
And so like all the apartments that we were looking at there were like one bedrooms, but like really small one bedrooms. And so one of my friends is just giving up her apartment, and it's not in as good an area, but it's the same price, and it's got a whole extra bedroom for like an office for me because I work from home.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that's one of the things that's making me nervous is like my boyfriend really wants to move in there, and I think it's good because I'll have an office, but it's not in the area that I want, and I don't know if it's like safe enough, and you know, it kind of makes me nervous. Like I don't really know like what it's gonna be like.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, safety is definitely a big concern, regardless if you're living on your own or living with somebody else. So I can, definitely hear that type of concern. I mean, are there other areas in Philadelphia that y'all have, looked into that may be a little less expensive, or, giving up some of the amenities that you would have with, being in a more, desirable neighborhood? Are there other alternatives y'all have looked into?
Not so much, because there's not like so many areas that I'd want to live in.
That's fair.
But maybe I should just kind of take a look to see, because if we're looking at this specific location where that has the bigger apartment building or a bigger apartment, then maybe there's some other areas that also have larger apartments that could be safer.
Yeah, because I mean, one of my friends lives in Manayunk and has lived there for a long time, and while it's a little bit farther out, it's a lot more space and a lot more reasonably priced. So potentially even broadening y'all's what apartments you're looking at could help you get a little bit more excited for this potential move, which sounds to be like it's pretty stressful.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. So we talked. You told me about the move and the stressors that are going on, and some of the concerns that you have, with your relationship. What else is going on that has you, kind of stressed out right now?
I want to find a better way to like handle stress.
Okay.
Like whenever there's like a big change, like coming back to my house from the city, going back to the suburbs and having to unpack everything, and then like I just like get nervous when it's like unknown, like what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
And then like like moving to Philadelphia, and then like, am I gonna stay with my boyfriend and get married, or like what if we move into the apartment and then like I realize that like I don't want to be with him, then what do I do?
Those are all some really big, very real questions. So let's start with kind of the first one of difficulties with reacting to stress. So whenever you have big life changes and things coming up, how do you tend to react?
Like crazy.
Okay. What do you mean by crazy?
I guess it just is difficult for me, like dealing with uncertainty.
Okay.
Like I will get like overwhelmed and like emotional, and then like I'll like call my friends, I'm crying on the phone, and then I just feel like I can't really I mean, usually if I take a break, if I find a way to like take a break from everything, I'll feel better.
Okay. So what are some ways that you take a break? Are there things that you found that do tend to help kind of relieve some stress?
Yeah. I mean, a few weeks ago I went to Florida by myself and just stayed with my grandparents.
Okay.
And that was amazing, and I could just focus. I just went to the pool with my computer, and I didn't have anything, other thoughts in my brain. I just got some work done. But like I'm not able to do that all the time. Like that's such a lucky thing to be able to do. So
do you ever find time for yourself, at home? like, taking a few minutes out of the day for, a long shower or, a bubble bath, or, some people really enjoy, working out and yoga. Anything like that tends to help you?
I don't really work out as much as I should.
Okay.
It's hard to get myself to the gym.
Okay.
And I can't work out at home because I just can't motivate myself to actually do it.
Okay.
I don't know. Other stress relievers. I don't do them enough, I guess.
What about, like, reading or binge watching Netflix? There's always, everybody
Friends
finds
just got back on Netflix.
Yes, it did.
And that's my favorite show, so I am going to be watching a lot of that, and maybe that'll help.
And that could be a really good one, especially, a comedy that's, really lighthearted. Sometimes that's a really good way to kind of, separate from yourself for a moment and allow yourself just to decompress. So that could be a really good one.
Yeah.
And especially if it's something you already like and, you know which characters are your favorites. Everybody does, so.
Yeah. So I'll do that.
Okay.
And reading is good too, just like a laid back novel.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, that, different ways in which you can kind of find time for yourself, really can be, helpful with kind of overcoming stress and not letting it overwhelm you.
Yeah. But it's like those thoughts are still there, like those thoughts are like still there and that worry is still there. I feel like even when I do these things, like,
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I have friends, like a lot of my friends are getting married lately. Like, I'm a bridesmaid this summer in 3 weddings. 3 weddings. So it's like, and I've been with my boyfriend for 7 years. So it's like, are we getting married or are we not getting married?
Have y'all had that conversation?
Yeah, we talk about marriage, a lot, He just wants to, I think he's waiting until he can, like, afford a ring. For us to be able to afford a wedding. We're all both broke. He has, like, $300,000 in loans from law school.
Yeah.
So I was living at home with my mom, and he was living at home for a while in Philly. So that's just, like, depressing. And he's, like, way different than me in terms of money. Like, I want to have, like, a nice house, nice clothes. I love that, Like, I'm a clothing designer. I used to used to be a manager at Anthropology, and now I have my own clothing line. And I like these, like, nice things. And he likes to just, like, skimp and save on everything.
Okay.
So, like, how are these things going to mesh in our, like, long-term life together? Like, that's why it's good for us to move in together, though, because then we're going to see. Like, we're going to see, instead of the long distance, how each other are on, like, a daily basis.
Yeah.
That's scary. Like, what if it doesn't go well?
I mean, that's a huge concern, especially whenever it comes to, those financial issues.
Yeah.
Have y'all, encountered, like, sharing finances, like going on a trip or something together where, you've kind of had, like, almost like a smaller version of having to share finances in the past?
Yeah. He definitely doesn't pay for anything of mine.
Okay.
We definitely will split things all the time. It's just frustrating a little bit because, like, I have so many friends where, well, I guess when they're together for a while, the guy doesn't pay for everything. But, at least in the beginning, the guy, like, their boyfriend's paying for all this stuff, and I'm like, my boyfriend, like, can't help me out with anything, and that shouldn't be important because it's just, like, such a superficial thing. But, I mean, it's something that you think about when you're getting older and, like, you're thinking about marriage.
Exactly. I mean, and it's, it's something that it sounds like, is concerning you, and it has you, a little bit upset about kind of how the dynamics have been so far.
Yeah.
Have y'all had discussions about, budget or finance or how y'all like to spend or anything like that?
It's kind of a hard topic to bring up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're cheap.
Okay.
I don't really know how to bring that up with him.
And that's, those types of conversations are always really hard. I mean, there's there's no way for, it's very hard to navigate that without it being a little bit awkward at some point in time. That could be, potentially, even doing like role plays with somebody else, and where you kind of like have these mock conversations and kind of allowing yourself to get a feel for, how do these words feel coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
Because there are definitely those situations where, you say something and you're just kind of like, oh, that was weird, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
So that could be, one way to, approach having those more difficult conversations and allowing you to kind of gradually ease yourself into it. So that could be something to think about. Yeah, practice, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know we've talked a lot about, what about your, boyfriend has you concerned? What are some good things about him?
Huh. That's a good question. Some good things about him are that he's just very sweet. And I know he loves me. And he's always available to me. We're always, even though we're long distance, we're talking every day, texting, whatever, calling. And we just know each other so well now. Yeah, he's there for me, supportive.
Okay.
That's the best thing about him.
Yeah. Has it been with, you growing your business?
He's been supportive of it.
Good.
Yeah. He's good. He's definitely, he came, but that last week was like New Year's week.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to help me. He even stayed in the store like during business hours and kind of like helped me sell things.
Awesome.
And he was really good talking to the parents and the kids and stuff. It was funny. And then like helped me like take everything down and pack up.
Okay. So it sounds like he is really, he's there for you and supporting your ideas and initiatives that you have.
Yeah.
Well, that's really awesome. And, those are always some things to, really kind of, hold on to as you have these concerns moving forward. And, definitely allowing yourself to, remember the good as you're trying to, work through the stressors.
Yeah. Okay.
So, sounds like, some, potential ideas would be, finding a way to, maybe role play or, have like practice conversations with, someone you feel safe with, whether it's, a family member, friend, myself, all of those are definitely available for you, and, kind of trying to navigate how to, approach these difficult conversations as you're, definitely, working, on this move to Philadelphia. As well as, looking at other areas and seeing if there can be some type of compromise in, the location as well as the cost. Because that is, definitely a fine balance that we all have to find, especially in a big city like Philly.
Yeah. Hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like you have a lot of really, wonderful things on the horizon, just lots of stressors going on, and definitely making sure to find that time for yourself, whether it's, watching an episode of Friends, getting, just, a silly novel to be able to kind of, devote a little bit of time to getting away from things.
Yeah.
Or even, talking to friends and family members, being able to, express yourself in a safe environment is always a great way to be able to get, things that you're kind of like ruminating on and, worrying about, to be able to get those off your chest and get somebody else's, perspective on that.
Yeah.
All of those can be really helpful as you're moving forward with this, potentially stressful time.
Yeah.
So, it is up to you. If you would like to, meet again, I think, I'm, definitely open to it and would, like to continue to help you out in any way that I can. Is that something you would be open to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Awesome. So we'll look at schedules, try and figure out what would be best for you, and we'll get, another visit set up and try and see if I can, provide you with some type of support outlet, as you're going through these times.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.